Hey guys, it's Passport Mel. My name is Melanie, and on this channel, I talk about all things travel. I decided to go back into the archives and look at some of my older videos that I posted, and I figured why not start with Alaska? It was my first solo travel destination. I went in 2020. I was 36 and for that trip, and then when I recorded the video I was 37, and so now I'm 42, and just knowing all of the things that have happened since is just kind of wild. I love it looking back, seeing what my mindset was back then, and bringing it forward, because I definitely want to start posting more on this channel, talking more about my trips, especially my solo travels, and then bring you on my future trips. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you like what you see, make sure to press the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, all the things. But without further ado, let's go. All right, so I'm about to play the video. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be talking to you about my solo trip to Juneau, Alaska. Juneau, Alaska. Yeah, I went to Juneau, Alaska in 2020, so during extra. COVID, and I want to talk about the trip. All right, so if you are new to my channel, I have revived this channel. It used to be reviving all about natural hair, but now I am going to be talking about traveling, because I love to travel. I have wanderlust. I have a really exciting trip coming up that I cannot wait to share with you guys. So make sure to subscribe. So I'm going to be sharing pictures all throughout this video. You'll be seeing them over here. And if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Also, like this video if you like what you're seeing, so you can support your sis. All right, so let's get to it before I lose all of this beautiful natural light. So the reason I decided to go to Juneau, Alaska and to do a solo trip was because I was going through a divorce. Yep, I was one of those people during COVID who got a divorce. Yeah, that was me. I wanted to go because I want to see all of the states. I wanted to just go ahead and try to see as many states as I could. And Alaska was at the top of the list, and it's super expensive to get up there. And I was originally trying to go on a cruise, but of course with COVID, everything was shut down. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get up there just by flying, and I'm just gonna spend the time there. So the way I did that is, first I booked a flight from Dallas to Seattle, because I had a friend in Seattle I wanted to visit. Hey girl. And I figured, why not just go to Seattle, visit my friend, and then I could take a flight from Seattle to Alaska, which would be much, much cheaper. I have to pause here. So I did take my flight from Dallas to Seattle, visited my friend. I did have a little Tinder date up there that I had prepped for months with this guy. Things did not go as planned. Or as I expected, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I was going through a divorce, and so I was just being free and experimenting, trying new things. And so that was also kind of like an interesting part of the trip. But I only had to pay the taxes, so it was like $11.20 to get up to Seattle. And then I flew on Alaska Airlines to get up to Juneau, Alaska. I will put the price on the screen because I can't remember exactly, but it was very affordable, and there was nobody on the plane. It was absolutely empty just because of everything that was going on during that time. And all I could think was like, I'm finally able to go on this amazing trip, because I had Alaska on my bucket list for the longest time. I've been wanting to go since I was a kid. So it was just really exciting. Okay, let's go back to the video. So after I got out of the airport, I went to my car rental and I drove to my Airbnb. My Airbnb was so cute. It was in downtown Juneau. So if you go, I definitely recommend staying in downtown Juneau. Lots of stores to visit, lots of restaurants, bars, just so many little things to do if you love shopping small, which I do. So I went to a lot of cute places. I had the best food. If you love fish, you will love Juneau, because the fish was amazing. I had the best food. It was so good. And I had the best fish sandwiches. I was eating them every day. I love ciders, and they had an Alaskan cider there that was incredible. It was just so great. Like, it exceeded my expectations. The weather was still cold. It was in the 50s, which I'm a Texan, y'all, okay? So anything below 60 degrees is freezing. I had my puffer jacket on. I had another little jacket on that was helping me with the rain. But other than that, like, it was so chill. I loved it. I loved my Airbnb. They had steps. There was not an elevator. So I had to take my suitcase up all of these steps, which was really a struggle. I was struggling. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I do have to talk about accommodations. So I am not into doing anything accommodation wise outside of a resort or a hotel. You will see as I talk about my travels that I've tried a variety of accommodation types, and now I'm just all about the hotels, and it's for the security. I didn't talk about it in this video, but my Airbnb did not have like a deadbolt on the door. It was literally just where you just have like the little handle and you just turn to lock it. Now, I guess maybe this was because there wasn't much crime up there. It's too cold for people to commit crimes, I guess, but I did not feel safe. And there was one point where I got really paranoid and I ended up barricading the door because I was just so scared that somebody could just easily kick in the door. Um, so that was unsettling. I think I did look for hotels and I just didn't find any in Juneau. Now, maybe now, uh, 6 years later, they have hotels up there that are like Hilton brand or Marriott brand or whatever, or maybe even like bed and breakfast. I think maybe I did look for some, but they were just all very expensive. And it was just hard to find reasonable accommodations back then during that time. So that was the best deal I could get. Would I do it again? No, but it was actually a really nice spot, and I did spend about $430 for my accommodations, and I think I stayed about 4 nights, 5 days in Juneau. All right, let's go back to the video. Whale watching. I felt like that was something I have always wanted to do, and that was the main reason I went up there. At first, it was a little scary because I had a hard time coordinating the whale watching. So finally, I found a captain who was willing to take me out whale watching, and it was just myself, the captain, and his deckhand. It was really cool because they had all of this information about the whales, and it was just really cool how they had everything organized. And so we were able to see a whale, like it had its fins that flew up, and they had a whole book that just showed you how they identified which whale it was based on the fin markings, and it was just amazing. Also, I got to see eagles, and so many eagles. They were feeding the eagles. I got to see seals, and they were so cute. They were just sitting there hanging around, and they were just like, what? We're just doing our thing. I got to see little otters. They popped their heads up out of the water, and obviously I got to see some whales, which was really cool. So after doing whale watching, I definitely wanted to see the glacier. Okay, I have to pause here and talk about the whale watching. I wanted to book the excursion. The captain and I were going back and forth. He wasn't even sure if I would be able to make it up there. And so I was really excited that I landed. I went through all those emails where we were communicating. He picked me up early in the morning and we went to the dock. We went out. And because it was just me and he felt like I didn't get a true whale watching experience, he was like, I'm not going to charge you. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, you paid your deckhand, you did all this stuff to get me out here. And the original charge was $500, but he just said he didn't feel right about charging me. And so it ended up being free, which I was not going to block that blessing. So yeah, free whale watching. I mean, you can't really beat that. All right, let's go back to the video. So I went to the glacier. It was really easy to get to. Like everything is just on this one road. And it's a really small city, so it was easy. I was like, oh, I want to see the glacier. And everybody was like, okay, just go down the street and you'll see the signs. And I was like, okay. So I went to the glacier and it was beautiful, you guys. Now, granted, because it was COVID, there were not all of these fancy tours going on. So I'm sure if you go another time, you would be able to go during a really cool time where you can do excursions and stuff. But I was satisfied with just doing a little hike and learning about the glacier and reading all of the little plaques or whatever they're called. And just reading about it and just taking a stroll and taking pictures. And I just want to encourage you that if you've never taken a solo trip before, take one. It is so wonderful to just enjoy a trip by yourself, especially if it's a place where people aren't really dying to go, and you can just really have a good time and learn a lot about yourself. Like for me, it was a very healing, introspective time. As I mentioned earlier, I was going through a divorce, so I really needed some time to myself to just reflect and think about my journey. And that's really what this channel is about. It's about how I am healing through travel and how I am rediscovering myself and reinventing myself and rebuilding my life and just starting anew. Okay, I think I can stop it here. Okay. First of all, that was a very healing trip. There was a dispensary there, so I went there, and that was pretty cool. And so I slept a lot. Most of the days, like after I did the whale watching and went to the glacier, the rest of my days were just spent eating, drinking ciders, and sleeping. And that's all I did. I think I needed that time to myself. It was definitely a healing trip. And also, that was the time when I started contemplating doing a bigger trip because it was so healing. And I realized that I needed a break from the US. I needed a break from my environment, and I just needed to explore the world. And there was so much to see. And it really was the catalyst trip for a lot of my travels that I eventually ended up doing, going to South America, spending several months there, going over to Europe, eventually Africa. And I have just seen so much over these 6 years, which is crazy that it's already been 6 years, but time really does go by fast. So I'm excited to share with you guys my travels, especially from my perspective as a solo traveler. And I hope that you guys enjoy. I'll see you soon. Bye.